What's going on, everyone? Stealth Wolf here, and this is going to be really late, and I'm probably not going to give you much tips that you don't already know, but I just, maybe for the people who only play multiplayer, or maybe for the people who are struggling with certain zombies seasonal challenges, but I thought I would do just a video just covering some of the Season 1, Season 2 challenges, and then afterward go through some generic tips and whatnot, just so you don't waste your time by going, oh, I've already heard all these tips, I know, this entire video is just going to be that. So yeah, it's going to be mainly zombies focused because that's what I've been doing for the entirety of Season 2 up until recently, where I've actually been going back into multiplayer and trying to get the guns that you have to do challenges for, because F that. So, as you can see, you don't have to go into the progression in Season 2 to see your seasonal challenges. They've actually added them to the challenges tab, which is useful, but I keep forgetting. Also, if you're in zombies or multiplayer, if you just press the square or X button on PlayStation, Xbox, you can change between sort of seeing the multiplayer challenges and zombies challenges. Obviously, multiplayer and zombies. You can also go back to obviously Season 1 challenges, see if you've done them all and whatnot, and you get the idea. So I'm just going to go through all of them just sort of quickly and just give a very generic, kind of like either very obvious kind of like advice, or something that maybe people don't know, especially about some of the Season 1 challenges or Season 2 challenges. Just to either make them go a bit quicker or to give you actual help. So the first, we're going to check out Season 1 first. Should do Season 2, but we'll go in order. So, for the first one, you got to earn 10 Butcher Medals, which is kill 5 or more enemies rapidly with a melee weapon. Best advice I could do, start off with a melee weapon. You've got like 5 now to choose from if you've unlocked them in multiplayer. Well, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, so just do that. The Dead Air, kill 30 enemies that are slowed by a Playhound's toxic gas. I can't remember if it counts the Playhounds themselves, if they're running through the Playhound gas, but again, D Machine A is where Playhounds are, so go to that map. 500 eliminations in Dark Ether. Now you can do this, obviously, again, a lot of the sort of Season 1 challenges are D Machine A, and a lot of Season 2 is Firebase Z. But yeah, the Dark Ether is obviously the bit where you go collect the Pack Punch part, and obviously where the kind of anomalies are in D Machine A. Go through there, get a couple of kills. Depending on what weapons you're using, you can get quite a lot or not many. Again, it's just make sure you're in the Dark Ether. I'm not sure if it counts the Dark Ether bunny Easter egg in Firebase Z, but I would just recommend go D Machine A. Block 15 megaton projectiles with Ring of Fire. Ring of Fire has the ability to block projectiles if you upgrade it a certain amount, I believe. I believe it's 2. I believe it's tier 2. So make sure you've got at least 3 of the basic Ethereum crystals. And obviously, anytime a Megaton shows up, just activate it. Obviously, if you are on PlayStation, you can go into Onslaught and do it there. Obviously, it's a bit harder now because obviously they've added like mimics and manglers into the elite rounds, but you can still do it there, and it's fairly simple. Successful exfil from D Machine after round 30. Again, just have a good setup. Nothing more I can say from that. Drink 6 perks in 6 seconds. Now I can finally give some good tips. Basically, if you go into the Dark Ether in D Machine A, you can go to the Wonder Fizz machine on Penthouse. At the Penthouse. In the Penthouse? In the Penthouse. The Penthouse. And you can, if you've got enough points, you can drink. You can get all the 6 perks, or obviously there's 7, so you can choose your top 6 or whatever, and just rapidly go through them. Again, there is also a Wonder Fizz machine on Firebase Z, which is a bit easier to get to, so you don't have to be in the Dark Ether or wait 10 rounds after opening the Dark Ether for the first time on a D Machine. On 5 Spectral Salvation medals, reviving a teammate while cloaked in Ether Shroud. Just run Ether Shroud. I know a lot of people will probably run Healing Aura and sort of use that to revive teammates, but just keep your Ether Shroud, and you'll get that done pretty quickly. This is one I can help with a lot. Why? Because I don't know if people are getting stuck on this or not, but it did bamboozle me until I actually did it. So it says split the Megaton while it is dazed from Stun Grenade. Now, when it goes into the immune phase, where you can't do any more damage to the Megaton, don't throw a stun grenade then. Well, no, don't throw a stun grenade and then shoot it until it goes into immune, because it will still be stunned, and then it will come out of stun and then split. So it won't be stunned. You have to get it down to... You have to get the regular Megaton down to 0 health, then throw a stun grenade, and then it will split. And that's how you get it. It's stupid that you have to do it that way, but it doesn't make... Yeah, whatever. Upgrade a starting loadout weapon to legendary quality at the arsenal. Oh yeah, some of these are also broken in the tiers, where they'll say like, upgrade a starting loadout weapon to legendary quality, and it's like 3 tiers. There's like more, but to do it, obviously put on the best salvage flashlight at the on your weapons. I believe it's the last. Yeah, it's the last. The last one is the best one for the salvage. Just keep making sure, So a better time would also be to do it solo rather than co-op, because obviously you're going to be the one killing all the zombies, so you're going to be getting all the salvage that drops. Scientific advantage: get 500 eliminations using the D.I.E. I would recommend, if you're in a co-op game and someone's doing the sort of Easter egg steps to unlock it, you can just go through the trials and do it that way and get the trials up to legendary, and then I believe the D.I.E, you have a better chance of getting that from the challenges than you do the Ray K and Firebase Z, but they're kind of similar odds for both. Next is kill a Megaton while it's caught by the D.I.E. Basically, you need the D.I.E weapon, obviously, but you also need to essentially just keep sucking the Megaton with the D.I.E until it dies by you sucking it up, and that's a easier way to get the easy target medal, because you can do it if someone else is sucking them up and then you get the last shot and kill them. But obviously it's a lot easier just to keep sucking them up with the D.I.E. Kill 3 Megatons using C4. Oh boy. Killing a Megaton with C4. Now, again, with other kind of with the sort of the seeing double thing, it's not killing the main Megaton, it's killing the splits with C4s. Now, you can use as many C4s as you like, as long as you kill the splits with C4. You have to kill them both with C4. The basic Megaton, before it splits, you can shoot it to whatever, because you're not killing it. But then with the splits, you have to kill them both with C4 for this to count. It is stupid of a challenge. Prime positioning. Sentry turrets are what, 100, 150 rare salvage? You'll be getting that, and then if you... One advice I can give is, if you get the Trials rarity sort of challenge thing to Epic, most of the time you can get support from that. So it's a lot, a bit more helpful to do it that way if you can keep doing the trials, or obviously, keep buying the sentry turrets. Sentry turrets aren't that rare, but, kill 15 enemies with a single engine mine 5 times. Couple of things. One, upgrade it to tier 5 so it has 3 sort of pulses of explosions. 2, yeah, I said 1, get it to tier 5, it will use 3. That's a lot of numbers. 2, use it on an instant kill. That's obviously a lot helpful. It won't just knock them down and then they won't get kind of damaged from it. And also do it solo, really. Because there is a big chance of when you train, you have enough zombies to do it with. Whereas in co-op, you might not have that many. Get 500 eliminations shortly after mantling. The best place I can suggest this is, obviously, 1, use an insta-kill, but 2, do it on D.I.E. Do it on the little steps in the yard, where the steps that will go up to the penthouse. Use that. Not inside the outside ones. Use that. Simple. Night vision. Now, the flashlight, with the flashlight on, it's just basically just when it's dark. I believe there are some spaces you can do it in Firebase Z, but obviously I did it in D.I.E. in the first season. So, the best place to obviously just do it is go into D.I.E. any bits where the map is completely dark without turning the power on. So sort of the main bunker without turning the power on. That's how you'll get a lot of kills. Again, do it in solo to do it faster, but you can do it in co-op over time. Redeem 5 legendary rewards from trials. Now, some people might get a bit confused. I know some people have been confused for how do you get the legendary, like epic, and get better rewards from the trials rather than just common and rare. You can keep doing trials and not taking your reward, and it will bump up in rarity. I know for some people that's really obvious, but there are some times where it's been a bit confusing to some people. Armor Breaker. Best place to do this now is Firebase Z, because at round 10 you get armored zombies in Firebase Z, whereas in D.I.E. you got to wait until round 20 before armor comes along. It also counts as armor from Manglers as well, and I believe they have 5 pieces of armor. And you could do them in any way, so I would recommend a Semtex, stick that onto a Mangler, you get 5 pieces. Moving the mystery box 10 times. I know using the mystery box and sort of buying weapons off the wall is a bit kind of like, you don't do that in Cold War, because you start in with a weapon that you want, you've got all the right attachments for it, so you wouldn't really do it. But I would recommend just, if you've gotten to the point where you've got all your perks, I would say at least pack a punch once with an ammo mod, maybe pack a punch twice with an ammo mod, then try spinning the box as much as possible. You'll probably also get moving the mystery box 10 times if you're going for the Dark Ops challenge, which is to get every weapon out of the mystery box. This one, there is a trophy / achievement for the Double Trouble medal, which is killing both halves of Megaton within a short time. It is literally a short time. Like, the medal is like a second. You either get it or you don't, and the difference is milliseconds, but it's literally a second from killing the first one to killing the second one. You have to do it in that time frame. Unless they fixed it, obviously. But the best thing to do early round, D.I.E. A D.I.E. is, the most useful thing. Again, using a chopper gunner, using any kind of support, especially sort of the death machine as well. Death machine or war machine will do pretty well. But yeah, just anything really quickly. I would never recommend using a normal gun unless it's, like a Ring of Fire triple packed shotgun or something. So that's it for season 1. Hope you got something interesting out of that, or kind of little advice. If if you've just been playing multiplayer and you haven't gone over to zombies for whatever reason, or you got to Prestige Master in season 1, Prestige Master in season 2, I think. But now on to season 2, which yes, I don't have one challenge done, but then again we'll get on to that. So purchase Wonder Weapon ammo 10 times. Uh, the best place, controversially, to do this, I would say, is Outbreak. I started doing it in Outbreak, mainly because you get a ton more points kind of quickly. Because if you do the objectives, you get a ton of points, and each round you go up, gives you a lot more points for doing the objectives. And if you have any wonder weapon, so the D.I.E, the ray gun, the ray K, you can buy the ammo from the ammo boxes. Doesn't count if you get like max ammo or something else. Capture 25 ether reactors in Firebase Z. This is basically just turning on the power in Firebase Z. So just keep turning on the power in Firebase Z. I believe it does count if the reactor goes down during an assault wave. And then you turn it back on. That does count. But obviously, I just recommend just turning it on, doing the power, and then just keep doing that over games. 250 kills with the Death Machine. The Death Machine is the most OP thing in the game. In my opinion, it's better than the Chopper Gunner. Okay, the Chopper Gunner, you're safe from, zombies on the ground, but the Death Machine is insane. My biggest advice of using the Death Machine, Outbreak, especially on HVT, on the HVT objectives, because one, you'll go towards another challenge that's taking down HVTs within 2 minutes in Outbreak challenges, and it's again, it's overpowered. Especially use the Death Machine in exfilling. Any exfilling destroys zombies. Forcing 10 mimics to reveal themselves by shooting their hidden form. There is also another challenge later on which is about killing mimics. Which is a bit weird that mimics have to be 2 specific challenges. But this one is kind of a bit difficult, but there are a couple of tips. First of all, if you go into Outbreak, a lot of my things are going to be Outbreak kind of thing. Just because that's how I did them sometimes. But Outbreak, Firebreak. That's Black Ops 3, that's not what we're talking about. Outbreak, the best thing to do in this is to shoot every large chest, like the big chests. Shoot every single one of them you see. Now, until somewhat recently, mimics never spawned on the first round in Outbreak. However, I have experienced that sometimes if you're playing on the Ruka map. Yeah, the Ruka map. The sort of the I don't know, the missile base. That one. The one that's all green. That one, they can spawn there immediately in the first round. Just depends. And also another tip is for Outbreak, if you see a chest and you're not sure whether it's a mimic or not, if you try and tag it to be like, hey, I'm tagging, like weapons or doors or, that kind of thing. If you tag it and it comes up with a chest, it's safe. If you tag it and it just says, this is a location, then it's fake, so then you shoot it. You don't have to kill the mimic, but if you reveal it, then that counts towards this challenge. Destroying 10 Mangler arm cannons. Oh yeah, and sorry, go back to this. Sorry. In Firebase said, once you get to the part of the Easter egg where you are trying to find 3 people, or 3 mimics to capture in the captured devices thing. I can't remember the exact name. Once you get to that step, there will be tons of very obvious mimic hidden forms around the map. You shoot them, and one of the mimics will obviously show up, and then there are obviously, some kind of obvious ones. So again, the Mangler arm cannons. Basically, that's the best place to shoot a Mangler as well, because one, it's not armored, and two, it does like the most damage without having to destroy other bits of armor for the Mangler. So it's the best way to destroy a Mangler. Field of Fire. Kill 25 enemies that are on fire from a Hellhound's explosion. Now, the Hellhound explosion, so the fire that the Hellhound release, doesn't actually damage zombies as much as what the Plaguehound gas does. It doesn't slow them down or anything, so you can maybe only get like 2 or 3 in a fire, because obviously the explosion will knock some zombies down if they're too close. They won't get set on fire, and that's just a big annoyance. So yeah, this one's gonna take you quite a long time, but obviously if you get to round 25 in Firebase Z, Hellhounds will just spawn in normally into the map, so go from there. 1,500 eliminations with the Ray K. Either do the Easter egg to get the Ray K, spin the box to get the Ray K, or do trials to get the Ray K. Not that difficult. Rapidly kill 3 or more enemies with an artillery strike 10 times. There is a free artillery strike in... it's the data center. It's the data center one. Again, I can't remember the actual name of it, but if you go there, the first one's always free. So if you get an assault wave there, go there, get it for free, and then you can probably kill 3 or more enemies. And also, artillery strike's pretty cheap in the support stuff as well. So, who's who? Because that's what Tombstone Soda has kind of absorbed into its own abilities. This is fairly simple. I'd recommend doing this solo. Basically, what I did was I loaded up Firebase Z, got into the helipad zone, so went through the teleporter, helipad zone, got enough to buy Tombstone, bought Tombstone, downed myself, activated the Tombstone Shadow, went, revived myself, and just kept doing that. Just keep doing that on a cycle till you get it 10 times. Because Tombstone is genuinely the freaking worst perk now. Kill 10 Manglers using a melee attack. If you're using the melee weapons to grind them up, you will be killing Manglers with melee. And it's also not that difficult, really. And also, that does count if you use a melee attack as like the last sort of ditch thing, even if you don't have a melee weapon. So that still counts. Kill a Mangler using a zombie infected with your brain rot. Obviously, have a gun that has brain rot on it. Get a Mangler down to low health. Make sure the Mangler stays still long enough for your brain rot zombie to actually attack it. And you'll get that done. You only need 1, so that's pretty decent. Kill 500 enemies with Molotovs. Molotovs are the best, but also rarest item to pick up that's equipment that's on the floor that you get from killing zombies in zombies. But, as I said, it's really powerful. Obviously use it mainly on insta-kills to clear out a lot of things. But also, if you've just got a lot of zombies and you've got 2 Molotovs, you can only carry 3, which sucks. But if you've got 2, throw 1 down and then throw another 1 down, zombies will die. Get 500 kills using primary melee weapon. That also counts if you're using the Bowie knife or the knife sort of melee upgrade that you get from the tiers. From the tier upgrades in the skills. And it also obviously counts if you're using, any melee weapon. If you've got your melee upgraded to tier 5, or at least tier 4, you can one kill zombies. If you've got like a gun and you melee, you can one hit kill zombies up until round 11. Do that. Kill 100 enemies while in Tombstone Shadow form. Basically, the same thing here is it's the same thing as the Who's Who challenge, or what I did. Go into Firebase Z, go through the teleporter, buy Tombstone, down yourself, go to Shadow form, kill as many zombies as you can. Now, in Shadow form, I'm not sure if this is a glitch or it's been fixed, but you can't use equipment, you can't use support or anything. You have to use the gun that you've got, or the guns that you've got on you. So make sure you're running around with, a decent shotgun, or LMG, or something really powerful. You get the idea. Now, I know I haven't completed this challenge myself, but I can give some sort of ways to get it done quicker. First of all, play until the round 30-ish in Firebase Z to get the first order. Now, in my experience, the first order, whether you're playing it solo or co-op, is always the easiest to actually take out. Like, in solo, you can take it out. But then, after that, the quickest way is to then essentially complete the Easter egg, so then you fight the final boss order, and that should count. However, you have to do some damage to the order to actually get some notch towards the challenge. Because trust me, there was one time where I was trying to shoot the order, and I just, for some reason, my gun was just not hit. Like, I know the hitbox for the order is having a massive fit, so I was trying to shoot it. I was shooting it with a sniper because I was trying to level up my snipers. And I'm like, right, I can hit this, and I couldn't hit it. And I was kind of surrounded by zombies as well, so I was trying to kill them. And then I didn't get any hits. People in the co-op game killed the order, and then I didn't get a notch towards the challenge. So, deep pockets. This can be done on Firebase Z or D Machine by round 11. I know. Basically, just don't buy anything. Firebase Z, go through the first door, open up the barracks gate, the gate that goes to the barracks, and the field hospital, the one in the middle. Open that up, get 30,000 points, and you should get that by that round. And then the power gate that would go down when you do the mission control ether reactor, when you activate that power, that opens up because you have to exfil that way. And you just do that, and then you can get more. If you're short by like 1,000 or so, because you open the gate, you can kill all the zombies in the exfil and get points there. So it's pretty simple. Just do it solo, or just keep going until you get 30,000, and then you want to exfil. But exfil's obviously a lot harder later on. Eliminate 20 mimics again. Use the Easter egg steps to your advantage here. And also Outbreak, where enemies are really easy to kill in the first two rounds of Outbreak. Next one, 250 kills with Chopper Gunner. That's use the Chopper Gunner. What else can I say? Kill 25 Hellhounds with Frost Blast. Now, this is the field upgrade, not the ammo mod, which isn't too bad. If you've got it maxed out, you can, it does way more damage, it slows them down a lot, it can insta-kill any zombies. If they're frozen, you shoot them. But yeah, because it's Hellhounds, just anytime there's a Hellhound near you, because the annoying thing about Hellhounds is they run up to you, and then when they get within a certain radius for a certain amount of time, they explode. So use the Frost Blast, because it's quite easy to rack it up to get more charge for it. So just do that. And kill 10 enemies with a single napalm strike 5 times. This is somewhat difficult, but basically just, if you're playing co-op with some randoms, just sort of mix your trains up and just put a napalm strike there, and then kind of stand in it. You can, if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, just use the napalm strike because it goes horizontally. So if you want it to go down the, for example, the middle of the barracks, you have to kind of angle yourself in a certain way so the line goes down the barracks. And yeah, there you go. That's all my tips. Whether you knew them, whether you thought about them or not, doesn't matter. You got some seasonal tips. Now, that sounds weird. Now, I'm just going to give you guys some simple, just sort of little tips and advice for zombies. The intel, I mean, just go to Reddit. Go to Reddit, type in Cold War intel, or even just Google Cold War intel. You'll find all the intel, especially some of the older intels are all gone. Boot camp stuff is very simple. Field upgrades, equipment, weapons bought off the wall from mystery box. Exfilling and... Oh, I give a tip for this one, for medic specifically. And obviously, Stabtastic, just use melee weapons. But the medic, the best one to do for medic is heal yourself with Stim Shot. Because healing other players for over 100 health is a bit more difficult with Healing Aura, because you can't really tell how much people have by how much of the bar of health they have. So it's better just do it for yourself with Stim Shot or Healing Aura. I mean, killing 1,000 enemies with wonder weapons is a lot easier now because you've got the Ray K. Multi-kills with equipment, again, just... You get a lot of multi-kills. 50 elite enemies, obviously a lot easier now because there's other elites, unless they don't count the Mimics and Manglers as elites. But they still count the Megaton, so just get Megaton. 100 distracted enemies, that doesn't just mean monkey bombs, it does mean decoys as well. 30 enemies with a single support. Get the Death Machine now. Before it was the Chopper Gunner, was the best one. There's also a Dark Ops challenge for killing 50 enemies with a single support. And again, Chopper Gunner on later round, Chopper Gunner on like a level 20, on a round 21, 26 exfil. Elementalist, again, just switch between the all the different ammo mods or field upgrades. For Xynergy, make sure you have Elemental Pop on. That's the best way to get it done. Or obviously use like a field upgrade like Frost Blast or something, and then use the other ammo mod that you've got on your gun. Tactician, where was the one that took me a long time? The Ringleader. This one took me a long time, mainly because I don't use Ring of Fire that much. But yeah, it's a medal, so you'll get it. 3 stunned enemies within 2 seconds. If you use a flash, no, it's not a flashbang, stun grenade, best way to do it, easiest way to do it. It's cheap, you pick up tons of them on the floor, whatever. This one can be quite difficult, just make sure you've got a really powerful weapon, and... yeah. Kill 5 enemies with a single Tomahawk 10 times. This one, basically you have to throw the Tomahawk and then pick it back up. So the best way to do it is... 1, do it on early round, and 2, make sure you keep picking up the same Tomahawk, so that's why you do it on an early round. There's Healing Aura, and then Extermination. This is pretty simple, because 25 kills can be kind of done not that quickly, if you think about it. There's a lot of Dead Ops stuff. I haven't played Dead Ops that much. I think I played Dead Ops like once, so oops, can't give you advice for that. Firebase Report is just doing intel stuff mainly. Again, a lot of the Field Researcher is all about doing the objectives, so just make sure, one of the main ones that you got to keep looking out for is using a support to kill 10 or more enemies during any objective. This does count the side objectives, such as the Dark Ether chest, the Dragon Rocket, and the Horde. The Horde Patrol. Well, obviously, a Horde Patrol, you won't get 10 or more enemies, but for the other ones, you will. So, bring out a Death Machine. Death Machine is a lot of the advice. And again, the other ones are just sort of self-explanatory. For the bigger board one, basically, to get common, that's not good enough. You have to get rare, epic, or legendary. If you're going for, as I mentioned in the seasonal challenges, sort of wonder weapons, you'll be going for legendary anyway. And the trials in Outbreak last 5 minutes, so it's fairly simple to get a legendary in that 5 minutes. That's self-explanatory. That's self-explanatory. So some people saw this immediately and launched 25 dragons into portals and what the fuck? Basically, it's just if you're decent Call of Duty Zombies player, you can get that one done. Just make sure you go to the extra objectives. This one's a bit tricky. This one's glitched in so many different ways. First of all, it wasn't counting when Outbreak started, but now, basically, you have to get weapons found in chests. You can't pack-a-punch it. You can't put an ammo mod on it. You might be able to put an ammo mod on it, but that might break it. You might also be able to upgrade the rarity of it, but again, that might break it and start not counting. Also, if you warp, so go from, round 1 to round 2, Outbreak, that may also break it as well. So just be careful. Just make sure you're doing it properly. Ethereal orbs. You may not have seen some of these, but they're orbs that you'll see on the minimap. That you'll be like, what the hell is this? And what do you do? If you shoot it, it drops essence. Then you follow it. Then it moves. Then you follow it. You shoot it again. It drops more essence. It then moves again. And then for the third time you kill it, you'll get or destroy it. You'll get more Ethereum or more essence. You'll get possibly a gun drop. You'll get some other extra stuff. It's a pretty good thing, even if you get the challenge done. You still keep going for it. The Exterminator, only the 10 Demented Echoes. Can I really give some advice? Make sure you've got a pack-a-punch weapon, a decent amount of rarity, and also it's got to be somewhat damage. A sort of gun that can do high DPS. Because those Demented Echoes, oh my god! I had a double pack-a-punched M79 grenade launcher. I had the Thumper. Demented Echo came up into my face. I was shooting at it with the grenade launcher. It didn't die before it alerted the area, and I was like, "Are you bullshitting me?" And that was wave 4, round 4 or something. Again, just look up. Google them just to see when where they are and sort of their locations, so you don't have to keep running around the entire map. Self-explanatory. Long shot medal, long shot kills. Again, sort of use a sniper. Really. Eliminate a Mimic, Megaton, Krasny Soldat, Mangler, and Tempest in a single region. Best way to sort of getting those ones, go for the Horde Patrol. If there's a Horde Patrol, a golden chest, they're the best ones to essentially go for. And anytime you see an elite icon on the minimap, go straight for it. You'll be able to get this in no time. Some Dark Ops challenges. There's 1,000,000 zombie kills. You'll get that over time. The social distancing, that's kind of, you just have to be good at the game. I'm not. Then there is the round 100, which I haven't done, and apparently on PC you can get banned if you go to high enough round for some reason, which is a bit bullshit. Then there's defeat the Mama Back without going down, and also get 999,999,999 points in Dead Ops. Both those in Dead Ops. And you may have already done some of these. You gotta get 2 fully packed weapons with ammo mods and 6 perks. It should say all perks, so then it just gets increasingly harder the later you do it. But yeah, it just says 6 perks because that was the amount of perks the game dropped with. Exfil game only using melee weapons, easy in co-op. How I did it was I did the round 20 D.I.E, and I was just using the knife because I was leveling it up, getting camos and whatnot. So round 20 with only your starting loadout and no upgrades. They mean literally no upgrades. You can't upgrade the rarity of your gun. You can't pack-a-punch it. I also believe you can't get perks, but I may have gotten perks. I think you can get perks. But obviously, starting loadout, make sure you've got a max level gun to then put the best attachments on. Reach round 30 without going down is a lot easier when you've got the better weapons, better tiers of perks and whatnot. Play is every single trial in D.I.E. Again, I can't say if this works in Firebase said, but it's sort of fairly simple. You only have to play the trial. You don't have to actually get a reward or anything from it. So you can just sit there spamming at the trial at the end of a round till you run out of points. There's the kill 50 enemies with a single support. Again, I would recommend Chopper Gunner, Death Machine. Pretty much it. There's the buy every weapon from mystery box in a single game. And then the main quest in Firebase Z is a Dark Ops challenge, as well as the main quest in D.I.E. And then the quote-unquote main quest, quote-unquote Easter egg Dark Ops challenge in Outbreak is to complete 10... It says complete 10 objectives. I believe that means you have to exfil on round 10. You have to exfil. Is there any other tips I can give? Anything else? Oh, go do Outbreak solo. Outbreak solo or with people that you know, because otherwise it's going to be a complete shit show. Yes. Advice for weapons. Just quick advice, because obviously some people have got other preferences. I'd recommend, if you're using anything explosive to get anything that isn't the 20 kills without being hit, Frenzied Guard. Activate that, shoot at the floor, you're killing zombies, you're losing armor, you're gaining armor, losing armor, gaining armor. It's PhD. Frostblast is a really good upgrade as well. Ether Shroud is really good. Healing Aura is good if you want to be like the medic. And Ring of Fire. Ring of Fire is good, but is like very kind of like solo based. The Energy Mine is pretty cool, but I'd probably say either Healing Aura or Energy Mine, kind of lower tier. But I always stick with Ether Shroud just because I kind of it's something that I'm used to so much. So when I do it and Frenzied Guard activates or Healing Aura activates, I'm like, oh, what? Also, make sure, like, I know some people will say, oh, keep some of the Ethereum crystals so that then when they add new stuff, you can upgrade them instantly to whatever, but just don't. You don't have to. Oh yeah, advice for sort of weapon classes. Obviously, if you've gotten some of these weapon classes done to like Plague Diamond, I would recommend then not upgrading those up to max, like to tier 5 yet. One of my last my last few in this was the submachine guns, assault rifles, and light machine guns. Mainly because at the time I was working on the tactical rifles and sniper rifles. So obviously I upgraded those. The perks, I'd recommend just getting them all to tier 5 anyway. Although the thing that I regret putting to tier 5 was Quick Revive. Because you can't choose where the perks go in your like slots, in like where they go, because they keep moving around, and it just depends on when you go down which 3 you keep, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, but yeah, it's helpful, but yeah. If you're going for the critical kills with like all the weapons, best thing to do, immediately buy Deadshot Daiquiri. Hell, if you're even using anything that's, kind of difficult, that initially is just like really annoying to just use, such as burst weapons, semi-auto weapons, snipers, pistols, just get Deadshot. It increases your damage. It does double damage if the enemy's at full health, if you shoot them in the head. And if you get to tier 4, it increases critical bonus damage to 10%. So that means if you don't get the kill with the double damage, it'll then be really easy to kill them because you get 10% more damage. And also, if you keep shooting at the same zombie, so a lot more for elites, it does 2% more damage till 20%, so you then get, like if you're shooting at a critical point on a Mimic or a Mangler, guess what? You're doing 30% extra damage when you shoot them, 10 times? And they're not dead? Then after that, you're doing 30% extra damage. It's insane. And also, it removes scope sway. So if you're using the sniper, I'm trying to have a sniper on there. If you're using a sniper and you see the idle sway control, you don't have to use it, because guess what? If you get Deadshot, it takes that away. And I know a lot of people will say D.I.E is the best ammo mod. If you're going for critical kills, Cryo Freeze. If you're going for pure kills and 20 kills without being hit, Deadwire. If you're going for criticals, Cryo Freeze. Why? Because it also freezes elites if you get it up to tier 4. And then they're just really slow, so you don't have to deal with, and also it does more damage, it does more elemental damage to Hellhounds in 5 base ad. So, yeah. And obviously, if you're making a class, just sort of go with whatever you think or what you want to use. Like I'd say a lot of the time the optic is very much personal preference, whether you want to use it or not. I'd recommend using it. Use something like the Microflex LED or the Millstop Reflex. They're sort of like the more kind of broader, not so much kind of narrowing your scope down like the Quick Dot or how the Cobra Red Dot does it. But again, preference. For the muzzle, I would recommend not the ones that do increased equipment drop rate, because while equipment drop rate at the beginning is very useful to see if you can get that level 1 armor without having to buy it, it's not that good later on, especially if it's like this one where it's the only one. Obviously, if you want to have the gun with no negatives, you can just go for the sort of first one. But I'd always recommend sort of like the one where it has 1 pro and 1 con rather than something like this. Especially in zombies, you want the shooting movement speed. You want, like, the extra damage or the extra armor damage if the 7% damage only increases your damage by 2. Bullet velocity doesn't really matter. Effective damage range doesn't really matter. It only really matters for, like, the order. But, again, it's not that much of a problem. You want kind of all your sort of speed to be high as possible. You also want, obviously, more bullets in your magazine, starting ammo, and everything like that. And yeah, you want your hip fire accuracy to be max. Obviously, I could use this one compared to this one. but I don't like. I get enough salvage when I'm playing. I think I get enough salvage when I'm playing the game, so I put the hip fire accuracy attachment more so than hip fire accuracy and increased salvage drop rate. Um, there is one thing I do want to question. Is this one, this grip, the infiltrator grip? I mean, this is just an example. It's kind of the same thing with a lot of other weapons as well. It says it increases the movement speed, shooting speed, and the walking movement speed, but not the sprinting movement speed. And obviously, if it's not the... Actually, wait, it does increase it. It does increase it, but it doesn't say. It goes up 0.02 miles an hour. Anyway, didn't notice that. It might be a bug. Yeah, but like, if your movement speed is the slowest, and your sprinting movement speed is the fastest, if you get faster movement speed without sprinting, surely your sprinting movement speed wouldn't slow you down, it'd go to the same speed as your movement speed. So, why would you choose the 3% one over the 5% one? I mean, apart from the melee quickness, for the sprinting movement speed, because you can't be walking faster than you sprint faster. I think that's meant to be the other way round. I think it's meant to be sprinting movement speed is meant to be faster, not the movement speed. But again, I could be wrong. I know the aim down sight time is a problem for, sort of the extended mag, fast mag attachments. But honestly, because Speed Cola is not going to be a priority of a perk to pick up no matter what. It's only a priority if you pick up, if you've got a light machine gun. But even then, it's not that much of a priority. So I would recommend using a fast mag. If you don't, that's fine. Just make sure you're in a good spot. Again, the flinch resistance and aim while going prone is not doing anything in zombies, but the aim down sight speed is. So yeah, it may go to 30, but you are then losing 10% of your shooting movement speed. And again, hip fire accuracy is really important, but your sprint to fire time is not important, and having that extra just 5% shooting movement speed, but also having essentially 15% more hip fire accuracy compared to this one, yeah. Zombies is a lot different in terms of what attachments you use. And that's pretty much it. One little thing before I completely finish this sort of like little tips, and let me know if you learned anything in the comments below, or if there's anything I missed. Yeah, just put it down below. I know this is long. This is a long video. I apologize, but don't worry. This is top tier tips at the beginning. So yeah. But also one last thing. You can actually see a vague amount of patch notes when you start the game. If you go, obviously, when you load it up, it'll come up with message of the day. But press R2 or RT. Is it still RT? The right trigger. Obviously, you get the latest sort of message of the day, like bundles and stuff. And how about fuck off and just give me the operators as a challenge, or just give me the gun. I don't give a fuck. But there's patch notes over here, and you can sort of specifically go to certain patch notes. So the day this is going out is the 9th. So oh yeah, you have to go into the thing. So let's see what's going on currently. There's double XP, 4 days of double XP. That's for PlayStation, because they get an extra day of double XP, which people are going to be like, oh my god, that's so terrible. But considering the amount of XP tokens I've got, there was so many of these tokens. I think I have 47. It's not saying the number, but I think I have 47. And why do I not use them? Because they count down in real time, not in game time. Do you know how many time I get fucking game crashes? It's ridiculous. Yeah, so there's gunfight tournaments in multiplayer. There's a sort of control patch as well. There's some sort of, that mentions the featured playlist and zombies, and then goes Dead Ops Arcade 3 is getting some things, and then the featured playlists, obviously, kind of the Dead Ops Arcade first person is still there. And obviously, you go down here, you get the, hey look, there's ZRG 20mm, there's some other things, and then stability issues, and all this stuff. So, yeah, again, that's a little bit of advice. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Hope you did enjoy. Yeah, because it's long. I apologize that it's this long. But yeah, if you learned anything, put down in the comments. If I forgot anything, put it down in the comments, and I will get back to it. Probably on a stream more so than another sort of little tips video, or maybe for a season 3 thing whenever I get around to that. But thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for the support on the videos. Thank you for the support on the streams. I really do appreciate it. I know 2020 and 2021 has been a shit show. But hopefully we can sort of get through this year, and hope everything will be somewhat back to normal by the end. Hopefully. So, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.